Next step is to mount the chain. As you can see, the chain we have is single width, about 20 inches long. In order to mount that onto these two sprockets, the chain by itself won't quite reach that long, because once we put it around this first sprocket, it clearly can't make it around the second sprocket quite as well. But we use adjustable bases, and by adjustable base, we're able to move the sprocket closer to the other sprocket merely by raising the motor. So initially we do that exactly. There's a little nut under here, just a little off screen here underneath the base that we use to screw up to move the motor up and over to hold it in place. And usually in mounting a chain, put it around the smaller of the two sprockets first, then fit it around a larger sprocket, turning until it fits. At this point, there's plenty of slack, so all you have to do is lower the motor. We do that first by going to the back behind the base, back behind the base is a nut right here. I am lowering it down to just about all the way down. We'll let the chain actually support the motor. Rotate it down. Keep going. Not quite at the end. Now we just let the motor back, and all of a sudden you can see that this pulls in slightly. Now chains, unlike belts, are not going to be as tight as a belt. These are going to be somewhat looser, so we're going to be able to just about pull this together, but not quite. But this is enough for us to go ahead and start measuring chain tension. But first we will lower this nut and raise the nut underneath to meet the plate for a good guess, and lower this nut to hold this base in place. Don't need to be real tight about it. It's just enough to keep this going up or down, so we can get a reasonably good tension right here on this belt. That's how we mount the gear on the sprocket. You can see a little bit of what we call chain sag. This is sagging in the middle. That's chain sag, how it starts from here, droops over to the chain sprocket. We want a little bit of sag in there. And when you not pull these two together is when we start to look at things like, let's measure some tension here. So our next step here is to measure the chain tension.